Jermaine Jackson, Friday night at 12:30.
Hello, everybody. Tonight we're going to visit two of California's most beautiful coastal cities, each of them just a couple hours drive to the north or to the south of Los Angeles. First, we'll visit San Diego, the playground of Southern California. And then it's up to Santa Barbara for a different pace at another of Southern California's beach resorts. So join us for that and a whole lot more. I'm Tawny Schneider, and this is Eye on Hollywood.
You're young, you're active, on the go, you wear Hanes too, and you know, gentlemen prefer Hanes. Hanes too is sheer and shaped, it's true, at a price that's right for you. Gentlemen prefer Hanes.
Out of the package, the leading brand looks like this. Hanes too, like this. You choose.
Times have changed, but one thing's true, looking good feels nice to you.
Beautiful fashion colors, starting at $2.50.
Takes practice to frost a Pepperidge Farm layer cake. They're swirled with a spoon, then smoothed by hand. Of course, first, they're baked with rich things like genuine cocoa or luscious coconut, then frozen to stay extra fresh. You see, Pepperidge Farm still remembers simple things make better cakes.
Come on in.
Brace ya!
I can't take off my glasses because they're frozen to my nose. I need it bad. When you need it bad, come to Coronado.
When a cold won't let you sleep, your whole body's misery cries out for relief. Take Robitussin Night Relief Colds Formula for a restful night's sleep. Night Relief for adults with medications that help clear your stuffy nose, stop coughs, reduce aches, pains, fever. Now get the nighttime relief your whole body's misery cries out for. Robitussin Night Relief Colds Formula for a restful night's sleep. The difference you'll appreciate in the morning. Robitussin Night Relief Colds Formula.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers, and my wife, Mary Ann, and I would like to remind you that in case you did not know, there is a major food drive going on in your city right now.
We're sorry we can't be there to help, but we hope you'll help your local food banks. They really need your help.
Thank you.
Join Channel 7's Operation Can Do. Together, we can do it.
San Diego's miles and miles of wide beaches and cliffs is what makes this city's coastline so magnificent. It was along this coast that Portuguese explorer Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo claimed California for Spain in 1542, making San Diego the birthplace of California. Commemorating that discovery is the Cabrillo National Monument, which offers a spectacular view of one of the world's greatest natural harbors, San Diego Bay. Today, San Diego is the second largest city in California and the 7th largest in the United States. And it offers everything from the sophistication of a big city to the relaxed atmosphere of a resort. You name it, San Diego has it. Where else but San Diego can you jump on a trolley downtown and wind up practically right in another country? Sound like fun? Come on, let's see. The San Diego trolley began service in 1981, and it gained national recognition as the least expensive rail transit system built in the U.S. in nearly 50 years. The 35-minute ride consists of 16 miles and 18 station stops, with the last letting you off just 100 feet from the U.S.-Mexican border. But you don't have to take the trolley to get a taste of a foreign country. San Diego's old town, where the city began more than 200 years ago, still retains the Spanish influence it had as the first European settlement in California. Located just 15 minutes from downtown San Diego is a town that some people refer to as the beach town of the elegant elite. La Jolla is the jewel of San Diego, and it's well known for its spectacular beaches, its beautiful homes, and if shopping is your thing, the shops of La Jolla will capture your attention, your time, and separate you from your money. Take it from one who knows. A visit to San Diego isn't complete without a trip to the world-famous San Diego Zoo.
The climate is really the key, because as you look around you, you can see eucalyptus trees, palm trees, birds of paradise. These plants are here to feed the animals. A zoo in more northern latitudes would not be able to have eucalyptus leaves, per se, to even feed the koalas if they had some.
The zoo isn't the only animal attraction in town. This is SeaWorld, and it's supposed to be the best-planned, best-stocked oceanarium in the United States. And by far, SeaWorld's most famous attraction is the Killer Whale Show, featuring the biggest star of all time, Shamu and Company. Preparing a killer whale for the show requires between 2 to 3 years of training, but the results are fantastic. When we come back, Chuck Henry will show us another side of San Diego. Stay with us.
Think sensible, think Cotex. Think new, think thin. Think sensible, think Cotex.
From Kotex, new thins.
Now Kotex makes a thin maxi pad. It's thin, sure, and has the protection you expect from a Kotex product. What's more, it costs less than other national brands.
Think sensible, think Cotex. Think new, think thin.
The new thin maxi from Kotex. Trusted protection, sensibly priced.
Do you know me? It's frightening how many novels of suspense I've written. But still, when I'm not recognized, it just kills me. So instead of saying I wrote Carrie, I carry the American Express card. Without it, isn't life a little scary?
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
Hi, I'm Doug Henning.
Enter a wonderful world of illusion. Discover a magical moment in space. See the amazing sorcery of Doug Henning and his world of magic, live on stage. Extended by popular demand, Broadway's magical extravaganza for the entire family at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater. For tickets, call Charge It, 212-944-9300.
Suburban Colonial Shops present our rapid deployment force. The warehousemen for Suburban Colonial have only a matter of hours to mark down millions of dollars worth of furniture, 40 to 60%, and transport it to all showrooms during our changeover to country sale. With new styles arriving daily, we must drastically reduce our inventory. Be there when the doors open for Suburban Colonial's changeover to country sale, because at 40 to 60% off, it will move out of our showrooms even faster than it came in.
You know, one of the highlights of any trip to San Diego is the world of water sports. I mean, you name it, and they really do have it down here. And you know what? The longer you stay, the harder it is to resist.
San Diego is known as the playground of Southern California, and its waters play a major part in this great international fun spot. San Diego Harbor, one of the most beautiful natural harbors in the world, is 17 miles long and home port for Navy ships, commercial fishing, and pleasure craft. In addition, San Diego boasts of a 4,600-acre aquatic resort playground called Mission Bay Park. It's the largest facility of its kind in the world, used solely for recreation. San Diego's waters also offer some of the city's finest views, from its crisp, clean skyline to the graceful San Diego Coronado Bay Bridge. Rising 230 feet above the San Diego Bay waters, it's the roadway to the Coronado Peninsula, home of the picturesque castle-like structure that dominates the skyline. This is the magnificent Hotel del Coronado, and this Victorian castle-shaped structure is known all over the world. You know, as a boy, my earliest recollections were coming to the beach down here in Coronado. And I'll tell you what, in almost 40 years, The outside of this hotel hasn't changed a bit. The Hotel del Coronado has graced the Silver Strand some 96 years and continues to stand now as a monument and a reminder of past eras of elegance and extravagance. In fact, it's generally considered to be the last of the extravagantly conceived seaside resorts.
Back in the days before the hotel, this entire peninsula was uninhabited. Well, almost uninhabited. There were a few jackrabbits and coyotes. But back then, you know, if you had the money, you could have purchased this entire strip of land for about $1,000 or 25 cents an acre. What a deal. Today, it is worth billions. What is it that makes the hotel so unique?
It's the largest wooden structure in the world. It would be impossible to recreate this hotel anywhere today in America because of the codes, the cost. We have the craftsmen to build it, but it would just be impossible to build something this beautiful and this unique.
I imagine that on any given weekend, you probably have more people here just looking around the hotel than you have hotel guests.
It's a museum. It is a living, working museum. People come from all over the world to see this. Not all of them stay here.
It's an unusual situation, your neighbors here. You've got the military on one side and you've got condos and whatnot on the other side. Has that had any effect or impact on the hotel?
No, the world seems to revolve around the hotel. The hotel is the city of Coronado. It's now a national historic landmark. It's recognized by the state of California as a historic landmark. It's irreplaceable.
The average cost for accommodations at the Hotel del Coronado ranges between $75 and $175 per day. San Diego's newest hotel, the Intercontinental, is a 25-story mirrored tower in Seaport Village. Constructed at a cost of $125 million, it's touted as the city's first world-class luxury resort hotel, with rates ranging from $105 to $135 per day. One of San Diego's most enjoyable spots to visitors and natives alike is beautiful Balboa Park. Located in the very heart of San Diego are 1,074 acres, which not only include the San Diego Zoo, but theaters, art galleries, and museums as well. And one of Balboa Park's most popular museums is the Aerospace Center. Here, the history of flight can be viewed. The aircraft on exhibit are not just museum mock-up pieces. Every full-blown aircraft has actually been flown. Some are authentic, others are replicas recreated by model makers.
A model maker is what the industry would call a pattern maker. You will spend anywhere from 200 to 300 hours researching every facet. Then you go into the task of creating the parts. There is no way that you can purchase these parts, so you make molds and castings. You must be a chemist. You must be an electrical engineer. You have to have all these particular backgrounds before you can control those yourself. This is almost impossible commercially. So that's why the individuals rise as model makers.
The museum has over 36 aircraft on exhibit.
Lindbergh's aircraft was designed by himself in a very, very short time to be flown across the Atlantic. The plane was uniquely designed, unstable, so that he couldn't fall asleep. He had to fly it all the time. The maximum amount of fuel was put in the front of him so that there were no areas for windows.
And in San Diego, there are those who still have the Lindbergh spirit. Hang gliding is a popular activity off the cliffs of La Jolla, but personally, I prefer my adventure not so far up.
As you can see, I'm at it again. This time we're going to try a little windsurfing. I'll tell you, water sports are addictive, and I'm hooked. When we come back, Tony is going to take us to Santa Barbara.
Come on along, I'll take you to the lullaby of Broadway. Hickory and Ballyhoo,
The lullaby of Broadway.
and in the center of it all,
Is the Milford Plaza.
Stay at the Milford Plaza Hotel with cocktail dinner and breakfast for $43 per person. Discover why we are the lullaby of Broadway.
the Milford Plaza is the lullaby of all Broadway.
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
I got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
Excedrin, the big headache medicine. More medicine than any regular strength pain reliever. The most medicine you can buy without a prescription. Nothing is stronger.
Oh, I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin and it's gone.
Excedrin, from Bristol Myers. Excedrin, the headache medicine.
You're young, you're active, on the go. You wear Hanes too, and you know gentlemen prefer Hanes. Hanes too is sheer and shaped, it's true. At a price that's right for you. Gentlemen prefer Hanes.
Out of the package, the leading brand looks like this. Hanes too, like this. You choose.
Times have changed, but one thing's true. Looking good feels nice to you.
Beautiful fashion colors, starting at $250.
1984. The video hits were better than ever, and Hot Tracks viewers picked the hottest of the year. So Saturday afternoon at 1:30, chill out to your all-time favorites. Watch New York Hot Tracks Hit Picks 84 and get down to the solid hits. From Private Eyes, the hippest video club in the country, your favorite video DJ Carlos De Jesus counts down New York Hot Tracks Hit Picks 84. Saturday afternoon at 1:30.
The night janitor at WPLJ eyes the microphone of Fantasy Forms.
WPLJ and the $1,000 song.
I'm Jim Kerr. Good morning.
Who you gonna call?
You are a winner.
I can't believe it.
The most music
The biggest prizes.
on Hit Radio 95 WPLJ.
It has a look and feel all its own. International flair surrounded by architecture that makes you feel as though you're in Spain or Mexico. And of course, the natural scenic beauty and charm of a beach resort. Santa Barbara is a city with a cultivated style and rich history that remains an ever-present vital part of it. There are reminders of Santa Barbara's history everywhere you go. The city's most famous landmark is undoubtedly Mission Santa Barbara, often called Queen of the Missions because of its graceful beauty. Known as one of the world's most beautiful public buildings, the Santa Barbara Courthouse is a magnificent Spanish Moorish palace surrounded by lawns and gardens. The oldest shopping center in the United States is located right in the middle of Santa Barbara. Called El Paseo, it's very reminiscent of old Spain and continues to play host to both locals and tourists alike. In this age of rapid change, we're often in danger of losing touch with the past as we become overwhelmed by the events of today. But in Santa Barbara, there's always a sense of history, both in the architecture and in the lifestyle. And it's that link with the past that makes possible the reconstruction of an 18th century Spanish fort right in the middle of a 20th century American city. It's called El Presidio Santa Barbara, and it's the site of this city's birth. Built in 1782 by the Spanish, it was the last in a chain of 4 military fortresses that the Spanish built along the California coast, and it was the last they built in the New World.
It's the only Presidio in California that has any chance of reconstruction, and there's the only chance to really portray military civilian life from the 18th century in California. Most of the time, the Presidio only had maybe 25 or 30 people living in it, but it was a place to retreat to in case of Indian attack, or there was fear that the Russians might someday attack in this area. True.
No.
Yes, that's the main reason why the Presidio was put here, was because the Russians had built up at Sitka, and then later on they built at Fort Ross, and they were in an expansionist period, and they thought they might come down into California.
The California Conservation Corps is the labor behind the restoration project, working with archaeologists in removing the 18th century foundations and providing the muscle to lift 1.5 million pounds of adobe bricks up on the walls.
Santa Barbara is more aware of its past, its Spanish past, and the Presidio is part of that. There was a town that grew out of it, and that's, from our point of view, what makes it so significant.
Santa Barbara is one city that's really kept in touch with its past, but one aspect of that is history in the making. Wine making, that is. Thank you very much. What's the outlook here in Santa Barbara in the wine industry?
It's very good.
Very good product, unique location, and it's definitely a growth industry.
Which grapes do the best here in Santa Barbara?
Chardonnays, Johannesburg Rieslings, Sauvignon Blancs are the best white wines. Cabernet and Zinfandel are proving themselves as the vineyards mature.
Santa Barbara County's first vineyard was planted about 20 years ago. Today, there are 18 vineyards and 10 wineries. Compared to hundreds of years of grape growing in Europe and Napa Valley's 100 vineyards, Santa Barbara has yet to establish a track record. But slowly, the Santa Ynez Valley, where the grapes are grown, just a few miles north of Santa Barbara, is affirming itself as wine country. Santa Barbara has already established itself among the world's wealthy, and Hollywood celebrated as a home away from home, or as is becoming the case more often, home.
I came here in 1958. I bought my first house, and it cast its spell on me. And I got married in 1960, and I've been here ever since, except for about 4 years when I was shooting the Daniel Boone show. And I came back to Los Angeles and lived in Bel Air for 3 years, and then down in the Newport area for 1. But this was kind of home, and I couldn't wait to get back.
Bess Parker is just part of a growing community of Hollywood personalities who've chosen to call Santa Barbara home.
Santa Barbans have a conversation from time to time, and it's almost inevitable because those of us who've been around for a while say, have you found any place better? And then we have a little conversation. No, if we could find a better place, we'd go, but we're still convinced this is the place.
And it's not hard to see why. Santa Barbara's posh communities offer a more calm lifestyle than the